Hello everyone. Our allies from the battle in the Jade Forests. They've been recovering in Kun-Lai Summit. Despite the massive damage, the loss of life, and messing up the Jade Serpent's reincarnation cycle, the Horde and Alliance are no closer to letting go of their hatreds. Sure, they might be a bit injured, but that won't stop them from recruiting the locals and have them fight their wars, assisting them against the local Yaungol aggression. Yaungols being evolved Tauren, it quickly earns them the favor of the people. We also meet the Grummels, creatures that date back to the time of Lei Shen and the Mogu ruling Pandaria. We have sources saying that it was Lei Shen who shaped the Grummels with the power of the engine of Nalashka. We also have sources that say it was Mogu Emperor Tian, using the waters from the Vale to evolve Trogs into the Grummels, similar to how the Murlocs turned into the Jinyu. Regardless of origin, the Grummels were never truly loyal to the Mogu, and to this day they act as traders, messengers, guides and packpadders for expeditions high up on the Kun-Lai Summit. They're also very superstitious people, who often take on the name of their favorite charms or lucky doos. The Grummels are suspicious of any luck they cannot smell, so it behooves one to meet new Grummels with a pocket full of dung.
Greetings, friend of the Grummels. You smell of good fortune. Tell me, what's your lucky do? Kun-Lai Summit's where we stay, sit around and trade all day, bring supplies to Shadow-Pan, carry many bags we can, tiny trogs we Grummels are, looking small from near or far, many greetings unto you, tell me what's your lucky do? Trail Yakka, Trail Packer, move along the road, Trail Guide leads the pack that do as they are told, Munchies, Crunchies, Lucky Doos and loot, Hosen call us wickets, and ambush our trade route, what's your lucky do? What's your lucky do? What's your lucky do? What's your lucky do? Yeah, what's your lucky do? What's your lucky do? What's your lucky do? Pandas do Kung Fu!
In the northeast, we'd eventually run into the Zandalari trolls, ancient allies of Lei Shen and the Mogu, who've come to lay claim to their ancient old allegiance. At the time, we had Prophet Zul spreading the word that Zandalar was going to, or had already sunk beneath the waves.
It is said the god King Rastakhan, ruler of the Zandalari, lords over his mighty kingdom from a throne carved of solid gold. Years ago, as he sat upon this opulent seat of power, he was visited by the dark prophet Zul. Zul warned King Rastakhan of a terrible cataclysm, for Zul had seen a vision of the great armored dragon clenching the world in his ferocious jaws. King Rastakhan did nothing. Months later, Zul returned, bearing more grim news from his visions. He saw a legion of serpents pouring forth from a gaping fissure that tore open the floor of the ocean. Still, King Rastakhan did nothing. Finally, mere months before the cataclysm, Zul returned, tearing his clothes and throwing his staff to the ground. Zul spoke of earthquakes and tidal waves. He described the golden capital of Zandalar, slowly sinking beneath the waves in the aftermath of the cataclysm, its once great people drowning as their mighty work slipped forever beneath the sea. King Rastakhan tired of Zul and his troubling nightmares. To be rid of the prophet, he granted Zul the use of his largest ships so that he and his followers could seek a new land if his visions came to pass. And his visions did come to pass. When Deathwing rose from the maelstrom, dark, angry waves crashed into the Zandalari capital. The spine of the land broke in two, and soon the city and all its riches began to slide into the hungry sea. The Zandalari people turned to their king for help, but there was only one Zandalari equipped to help them, the Prophet Zul. The Prophet and the mighty war fleet he had assembled while his king sat idle. You see, the true power of kings and emperors stems from the power to aid their people. The moment they fail, they cede their power to the one who can.
But of course, with Battle for Azeroth, we'd find out that his prophecies there were a little bit over-exaggerated. Zandalar did not completely sink, but that's not something our trolls know in this moment. Right now, they're working very hard on grabbing more magic and power. That's why we see the trolls trying to plunder the Mogu vaults. This is where the Mogu repurposed Titan technology to fit their new needs and ideals, create more of their kinds, and use the engine of Naleshka to create more servants. Then, in Kun-Lai itself, the trolls recovered the remains of the Thunder King to bring their old ally back to life.
Under Kun-Lai thunder sleeps, the storm long spent their rests, but blood of brother kingdom keeps alive the dispossessed. By Zandalari blood he will be taken, to Zandalari voice he will awaken.
Secure the remains, brothers. The Thunder King shall live again.
Rituals and magic that Lei Shen had passed on to them while he was still around. This way, they could rally behind the power of the Thunder King and claim Pandaria as the new home.
Rotten. You are too late. The remains of the Thunder King were taken to the Isle of Reckoning. We performed the ancient rites. Even now, the true Emperor of Pandaria lives and breathes once more. Woe to the Pandaran usurpers! The Mogu will rule this land again, and we Zandalari will have a new homeland.
Seeing how times have not exactly been kind to the trolls of Azeroth, plenty were willing to sign up with the Zandalari, but not Vol'jin of the Darkspear. He could clearly see that Zul and the Zandalari were not the way forward, regardless of the inner turmoil within the hordes. Now, despite their best efforts, the Zandalari did succeed in bringing back Lei Shen, but he's gonna be a threat for later. For now, we would see young Anduin Rin continue his journey and meet with Swen the White Tiger, another of the August Celestials at his temple.
Half of the Vale lies in ruin. These outsiders have been more destructive than the Mantid and the Mogu combined.
Give us a chance to put things right.
Great Tiger, the strangers from beyond the mists, they cannot be trusted. The wreckage in the Jade Forest can attest to this. Soon they will overwhelm this continent. Where do we draw the line?
We're here to lend our aid. We can help you rebuild the Vale.
While working on this video, I had to double check if I had to make any mistakes in my story. But no, what they've done is they've updated the dialogue for this questline to reflect the changes after the Vale opened up and we already went in there. This is fantastic for those that joined the story as it already played out, but here is the original dialogue.
Ah, another stranger from beyond the mists.
Soon they will overwhelm this continent. Where do we draw the line?
We're here to lend our aid. We can help protect the Vale.
We have witnessed your help in the Jade Forest. This horde, this alliance of yours, you have no control over your own nature. You leave misery in your wake.
10,000 years ago, the last Pandaran Emperor came seeking my advice. He too was filled with conflict. Let us see if you are correct, Terran. Let us see how this stranger deals with turmoil of the soul.
Violence. See? They are filled with it.
Yes, we are fighters, but we come from a violent land. We fought off demons, we fought off death, we even fought against the very end of the world.
We can agree it is noble to fight for a righteous cause, to defend home or family. But what of vengeance? What of anger? I sense these emotions run deep in this one.
Anger is a part of all of us. Yes, but we value control. The orcs were once driven solely by anger. They lived in a state of bloodlust, but they conquered it.
All you seek to conquer is each other.
To live without anger is not to live at all. It is ours to overcome.
Well spoken, Chief. The strangers from beyond the mists have no shortage of passions, but let us see if they indeed control them. Beyond the anger lies hatred, the wellspring of all misery. What is this? Your hatred has a face.
That
See how these outsiders hate one another. They wear their hatred to battle and carry it to their graves.
No, that's not true. There is so much more to us than this.
How interesting. They bring much to our land, but they also bring the shadow of war.
Peace will come, I swear it. And old hatreds will go away. You have to believe me.
This one has indeed proven mastery over anger. Between the young cub's words and the actions of this hero, I think I understand. Those from beyond the mists are hardened by battle. They are scarred, yes, but they have learned much. I trust them.
You are making a terrible mistake.
It is decided. I will open the gates. The Vale of Eternal Blossoms will be open for all. It is decided. The Vale of Eternal Blossoms shall remain open. The transgressions of the outsiders have been great, but I see in them the capability to right what has been wronged.
Thank you, Master White Tiger. You will see. I believe that my people and the Horde are essentially good.
I will consult the others. Meet me at the gates.
I find your faith inspiring, little one. But I wonder if you have ever met our war chief.
The young prince really wants them to open up the gates and give us access into the Vale. The place where they're keeping that magical water, where we've had visions and all kinds of cool stuff awaits to be explored. But on the other hand, we also got Taranzu, who's been out in the field, seeing the path of devastation the Horde and the Alliance has created. To him, opening up the Vale to both sides is lunacy. And to be honest, he does have a point. But Anduin is ever the optimist and manages to convince the August Celestials to throw wide the gates.
Children of Pandaria, the mists have fallen. A new era dawns for us all. Accept the healing powers of this Vale, but use these gifts wisely. Children of Pandaria, the mists have fallen. For good or for ill, our land is open to all. We risk everything, allowing so many into the Vale.
I have faith in our friends from beyond the mists.
Their strength is an inspiration, and sorely needed. We must trust that their hearts are pure.
Let us draw ourselves together to rebuild this sacred place, the first step toward healing a war-torn world.
These outsiders have brought chaos to this land. Can we trust them to set it right?
I have faith in our friends from beyond the mists.
Their strength is an inspiration, and sorely needed. We must trust that their hearts are pure.
The opening of the gates not only allowed Anduin to go in to study these waters, it also brought the Alliance and the Horde with all the drama that involved. And the Mogu, they saw the opportunity to quickly slip in as well and attack, setting up within the Mogusham Palace. plotting to claim the sacred waters and restore the Mogul Empire. We do have the Golden Lotus, charged with protecting the Vale, that made sure the area remained safe. But with the war ramping up, the task became more and more difficult. Now the decision to ignore his counsel, open up the gates after the destruction that has swept over Pandaria, it takes hold of Taranzu's heart. The Shah are not gonna be starved anytime soon. With the Shah of Anger even able to escape the Shadowpen Monastery, feast upon our emotions, constantly coming back and challenging anyone to face him.
My wrath flows. Yes! Bring your rage to bear! Try to strike me down!
The Shadowpen are doing all they can to hold the line and keep things together, but they haven't seen anything like it before. The Shah was manageable while being safely hidden behind their mists and keeping themselves under control, but our arrival, it has thrown everything into chaos. The Shah of Violence rattles his chains within the monastery, and the Shah of Hatred takes hold of their leader.
Taranzu and the Shadowpan are mine. Come forward and die by my hand, as all who oppose me shall, in the days to come.
The Shah has become so powerful that it manages to take over the main organization dedicated to keeping it under control. Founded by Emperor Xiaohao himself, these are Pandaria's elite, its main standing army, the Watchers on the Wall. So to have the leader and monastery fall to darkness is quite the problem. But we managed to expel it from Taranzu, making him see clear once again, and ready to join us into the Townlong Steppes, where the Shah of Hatred has fled to.
Lao Jin, we have won the day. Why are you weeping?
All those barrels, some of my finest brew. At least it went out in a blaze of glory.
Wait. Where's Lin?
I thought he was with you.
Where is my husband?
He must have pursued the fleeing Yaungol while we intercepted their leader.
I'm going ahead. I will see you on the other side. I hope.
Patience, Suna.
Plenty of hatred to go around after all. As the Yaungol's brood attacks, they claim the lives of loved ones. And of course, that in turn, it calls for retribution and vengeance. Yet the Yaungol don't attack without a reason. Lei Shen built the Serpent Wall, which has protected areas like Kun-Lai, the Vale, the Valley and Krezrang Wilds, but Townlong Steppes is open and unprotected from mented aggression. Normally, the Yaungol are able to hold their own, but they too have to deal with the earlier, much more aggressive attacks. Whatever's been going on in the Dread Wastes, it rippled on into the Townlong Steppes, causing trouble within Kun-Lai and beyond. The Shah have been a real menace, and while Taranzu wants to focus on the Shah of Hatreds, first we will have to reinforce the borders and hold the line against the aggressive Mentids, while also dealing with the local Yaungol. Once that has been secured, we can finally focus and deal with Hatreds, after which we made our way to the Niaozhao Temple, the Temple of the Great Ox. This august celestial watched over the Shah of Fear, but like the others, Fear is on the loose, broken its shackles, and didn't stick around in Townlong, as we quickly discover within the Dread Wastes.